Welcome to SawyerTime.
See, the wild card.
Female.
No!
Score!
I just don't have feelings for you! I hate you! I was making a noise.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to SawyerTime, where I get to warn you about the issue about pooping on manatees. See, manatees are lesser known as the undersea goddesses of the world. They're the harbingers of life and the justice carriers of wisdom. See, pooping inside their blowhole may seem amazing, but unfortunately it's a little bit illegal. See, the question is that we're all worrying about is whether or not the pros outweigh the cons. When you dribble along the backside of a manatee, you gain its power. You get to become the manatee spirit of the world and the beyond underworld. I think it's a pretty good idea. Manatees are nemesis. They get to ruin your stuff. They get to poop all over your blowhole, so maybe you should poop inside theirs. Are you ever superimposed inside your brain that confuses you because you're stressed? Does that freak you out? Do you run around and try to find Pop-Tarts and lo and behold, they're not there? Your schizophrenic Pop-Tart mind is not able to cope with the fact that those little fruity pebbles are missing. That bugs you. Maybe there are people who harass you. Maybe they throw stones at you and you're like, huh, stop it. If that's the case, you have stress, and I can help you with that because I've had a lot of experiences with stress in my life. So, here are the 5 ways that I can help you deal with stress, and if you have stress and you have to deal with it, I can help you attack that situation. And then our friends, you have friends that maybe stress you out, and maybe we can all make sense of it, and then you can find out the truth behind the mind stresses. Number 1. Run away. See, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're avoiding the situation entirely. You just need some headspace. See, something has caused you some stress. He, she, and they maybe got inside your funny jams, and your funny jams don't need to be jammed funny. You need to separate yourself from the situation. Isolation can be good. You can find out where your head's at when you're planning out how to recoup from some sort of awful situation. Like if your giraffe was fisted, it didn't need the fist in the giraffe bits. So, you need to go think about how you can deal with that sort of situation. Too heavy, too hot to handle. Number 2. Talk to a friend. Friends are pretty amazing. They're there to help you deal with problems. They're like prostitutes, except you only pay them with Smarties. Maybe. That's a hell of an assumption. You're not alone, so having another person to be able to bounce your ideas off of and get out your ventilation is super duper helpful. If your heart is sort of like a big black hole with tentacles and shit, then you need to get that off your chest and bounce it off of your dad or your grandma or your cousin named Billy. Number 3, you can run away, you can vent to other people and get your brain out, or you can address the situation. See, stress is something that everybody deals with, and the way we deal with it can be very different from one another. Sometimes postponing it is not the best way to deal with the situation. For example, if you own a dam, like a big blockade to stop water, and some rapscallion teenagers come in and start to punch the living hell out of the concrete, holding back all the water and protecting the beavers and stuff, that'll upset you. You don't run away and let the beavers get destroyed. You run up and you confront the children. You maybe kick them off the side of the dam. They'll fly down and get saved by eagles. The point is, those kids would not stop the spraying of the graffiti if you hadn't confronted them with the eagles. Number 4. You're loved and you're not alone. Honestly, when it comes to stress, when it comes to things that piss us off, whether it's school or work, or whether it's your best friend, whether it's your enemy, it can be hard to deal with that. Life is shitty, and sometimes we forget that we're surrounded by people that we love. It's one thing to vent, but it's another thing to be embraced, to not even have to say anything, to run into the arms of a loved one and they know something's up and you're hurting. When you get to that level of close-nitude, it's really beautiful. And I think that if we're more open to realizing that, to understanding that we're not alone in this whole grand scheme of life, then it makes anxiety easier to cope with. Being able to breathe and having someone else there to breathe with you, it makes it so much easier. Because life is hard, but maybe it can be hard together. Number 5. Find a pet iguana, adopt him, and use him as a surfboard. See, surfboards are a great way to relieve stress, and nothing is better than an iguana. Iguanas can be used as surfboards. You flatten them out and use your hands as like the fin part, and you ride them along. You use them on a wave, or maybe even in an urban setting. You can slide on your iguana surfboard around the buildings, but you'll have to mop up the blood. See, iguanas, they bleed a lot. Sometimes they just explode and spout blood everywhere, and surfboards are not great if they're spouting blood and causing your feet to like have not friction on the board part with the part that you wax. You know what I think we need? I think we need a visual demonstration to help us acknowledge all of the stresses that we're facing.
You can't even draw a square.
Dude.
You suck eggs.
Can I do my thing, please?
You can't even draw a square. I think
Stop.
you're disgusting.
Oh, you want to go? Okay, that's... Nope. That is exactly what I was talking about, and I'm glad that demonstration helped. Well, thanks for watching. We had a lot of issues, a lot of stresses, and now, maybe we can deal with them better. You can follow me on Twitter or the Instagram right here, where you won't be stressed at all by my weird faces. Anyway, I'll see you next time, as we just talk about weird shit. Maybe you take something out of it. Oh my god, these are getting so weird.